Okay, done. Done. Done.
Let's have a chat to our second place driver in Daniel Sylvester. Daniel, well, talk to me about that race, because that was a bit of a hectic ending.
Yeah, it was really good. The last stint wasn't that enjoyable. I was happy when it ended. It was all good fun either way. Yeah, I had some good times out there. Just drive fast, yeah?
Not too fast, but just fast enough.
Fast.
Into Richie, third and fourth, nose to tail. Mark Rice and Will Beach's Audi. He's got Daniel Sylvester in the Audi TT, really challenging them, man.
Yo, mic check. Mic check. This is the voiceover mic speaking from the past. I originally made this video to speak about the future, which is good, right? The future's nice, the future's orange. So this video originally was just going to be to cast some aspirations to the future, to say what we might end up doing, but let's have a look at what we did do as well. Let's celebrate 2022, because we did a lot. It'd be nice to have some other cars here. Special mention to the Audi TT and the Ford Ka. Yeah, had some good times, haven't we? Let's not forget the EP3 either. Another car I didn't mention in this video at all was my daily, the 5 Series. Didn't mention it at all, but yeah, she's still going. So yeah, sit down, get comfortable, looking at all the different things that we did. How many races did I do in 2022? A lot. Yeah, a lot. We did loads of stuff. Special mention to the Patreons. If you're not a member yet, you can see all the links in the description. Really appreciate everyone's support. It's also worth mentioning that 2022 is not over yet. I've still got a drift day and 2 races to show you, so you'll be seeing them in the next couple of weeks. In this video we're going to talk about the 2023 goals. We're going to talk about the 2023 fleet. We're going to talk about all of the cars and where their future lies. So we're going to talk about the plans, maybe the reasons why. We've fallen pretty far behind on quite a lot of things. We've acquired things that we shouldn't have really acquired. Just falling behind. And this thing, if we can just pan around a second, panorama. So we made some good progress on the undersides of the Integra back in whenever it was, the start of the year. And since then it's just been chilling. I got some new wheels for it, some wheels that I'd always wanted, you know. But other than that, nothing. It's just been a shelf, you've probably noticed, it's just been a shelf. This is priority 1, okay? We'll talk about some of the priorities, some plans. I was going to whiteboard. I was going to get the whiteboard out and make a list, but I swear I do that every year, man. Look at the whiteboard. Loads of stuff on there that I've just never done. It's nice to jot your thoughts and ideas down, isn't it? But, you know, then life happens, and life's what happens when you're busy making plans, isn't it? So maybe we should start, actually, I've forgotten a car. We'll start over here and then we'll work our way around, yeah? So this is the 2023 action plan, right? What's going to happen in 2023? Right, let's start with the Bastard then. It wasn't really touched in 2022 really. A little bit of work before Driftland and then again for Teesside. Just a little bit of work, not a lot. Obviously wanted a lot more than that. Grand plans, not really. Drifting, kind of fell out of drifting a bit this year. There's a lot of, I think drifting might be a bit too trendy for me to want to engage in it competitively, which I thought I might have wanted to do, but maybe still might want to do, I don't know. But the Bastard, the juice has not been worth the squeeze, but I do still like it. It's an E46. Oh, one thing I'm completely glossed over. I want to put this on the road for winter. All right? What's that there?
It's a pork and apple.
Pork and apple?
Yeah.
Papple?
Yeah, it's Christmas and that, isn't it?
Oh, but yeah. I'd like to put it on the roads. I'll probably make a video about it. I think all it needs really is cats and a little bit of TLC to make it go through an MOT. Let's work our way around.
So we'll start MR2 and then we'll get around to the Integra. I'll put chapters in if you've not already noticed. I'll put some chapters. Oh, a little bit more. Oh, a little bit more. Right, MR2 then, Murd. OG race car. Last year, during winter, I wanted to reshell this. Didn't reshell it, obviously, carried on. This year, it's took, what, a lot more damage this year than last year, right? So, is it finally time to reshell it? It's way past time to reshell it. That sun's right in my head. It's way past time to reshell it. Like, trying to think about why we would reshell it. Why would we reshell this car? Well, frame's bent at the front, frame's bent at the back. Does that mean the suspension's not where it should be? Does that mean it's not handling as it should? Well, we can measure it and find out. I haven't done that. Visually it looks all right, but the other reason why I should reshell it is just how rotten it is. Yeah, now, I know it looks pretty clean from the outside, but underneath, the shell's always been bad. It was a perfect first race car because of that, because it was just not a pleasant car. It wasn't going to go back on the roads. Maybe it could have gone back on the road, but it wasn't ever going to be a nice car. But was it a good race car? Was I a good race car? Meme. Yeah, wasn't it? I think it was, don't you? Do I want to get rid of it? Yeah, I don't feel attached to it, tremendously attached to it or anything. It's been really good. We've done probably, what, 25 race meetings overall, if not more, in this one little car. And it's had a few failures, had a fair few crashes, but for an entry into racing, affordable motorsport, it's been pretty good. Yeah, of course it has. Now, I have mentioned plans before of building the dream MR2 race car, and I'm still considering doing that, but it's going to be a lot of investment for a nice shell that'll most likely end up like this. Do I want to build a nice MR2 and really have a strong car to try and contend for maybe even the championship? I do, yeah, of course I do, but I've not decided yet. I'm hoping I can get a nice shell over winter, you know, when the prices come down a bit and it won't sting as much having to pay, you know, top money. Because this car originally cost me 400 quid, you know, and I'm going to be spending 10, 15 maybe times that to get a good one. So what's the difference between a good shell and this? Not 10 or 15 times more performance, no, definitely not. It'd just be something that I would take more pride in, for sure. I've never, you know, since last year, this car looked good briefly for 1 or 2 rounds. This is a good tool, right? This is a tool that I use to race in. I want to have something that I can at least try and take some pride in, right? Taking pride in stuff's not really my strong suit, but it's nice to have nice things, isn't it? And I feel like I just want a nicer one. It's as simple as that, I just want a nicer one. But we'll actually do it, I don't know. This has been a bit of a waste of time. The MR2 is still here. One thing I'm not gonna do is start pulling it apart. I'm just going to leave it as it is for, you know, either I get a new shell or until the point of, you know, deciding I'm going to break it for parts or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, for now, the MR2 has been great. We've made some really good videos. I've had a really good time racing, but nothing is immediately changing here. I would like to get a better shell. Like I said, the problem is the good shells are going to be a considerable investment. So, yeah, that's that.
He could no longer keep the primate facility open. Not knowing what to do, he decided to sell all of the chips. name was to be sold moved, this time to a rice.
Leaf blower. Right, the black M3. So back in August I bought this, right? And I made a video about why and all this jazz, and then somehow completely lost all the footage from my main memory card. So the one where I'm talking, I got some in-car bits. It had those Bilstein coilovers on it, and I wanted those Bilstein. I didn't want to spend £4 on some nice coilovers. My theory was I can buy this, take the parts off that I want, put standard back on, and then sell it on again. That was the plan. And it was a nice plan in theory, you know, but I've held on to it now for, yeah, I've owned the car 4 months. And all I've done is take parts off it and left it parked in the corner, just getting dusty, and it's a shame, isn't it? But as far as an investment goes, I still think I can stick to the plan. The only thing that's a negative about it is the gearbox being SMG. It doesn't look like a big job to convert it to a manual, and I might just do that. Something that I'd like to do is do some driving holidays. I've never really done any driving holidays other than driving to the Nürburgring. I'd quite like to do the NC 500 in Scotland. I'd quite like to drive to Lake Garda, the top of Italy, and you know, beyond, maybe even drive to the south of Spain. There's loads of stuff like that which I've never really done, and I've always thought I'd do it eventually, but it'd be a nice car to do that in if I, you know, put my standard interior back in, put some nice shocks and springs on it, just made it like a nice road car and did some things like that, and converted it to manual at the same time, which, you know, the SMG is not as bad as what people make out, but manual's better. Right. This car, you might recognise it by the way, Tom Motorworks used to own it. You've seen me wear Motorworks stuff over the years. Yeah, he used to own this car. I drove it at Anglesey. I drove it at Donington. I can't go flat down trainers in it though.
Oh, that's alright.
It feels fucking on.
You didn't do the thing and it moved on the stuff.
Yeah, it's the fucking... So, I had a bit of an affinity to the car already. Tom looked after the car for me for a little bit before I could come down and get it, so thanks a lot for that. And yeah, I'm not in a rush to do anything with it. What about the blue one? Right, that's an excuse the DIY going on over there just for a minute, but you've seen this car plenty over the past couple of months. You've seen what we've done, new brakes, we've put a CSL intake on it, we've had some new wheels and stuff. Nothing else really drastically changed from before. Still got the 4.1, still got, you know, all the good stuff. Still got just the half cage and one seat. You saw it all recently, you know what the score is, right? What's the future plans? Well, taking an M3 and making it into a race car is a bit more of a commitment than taking an MR2 and making it into a race car, but most of the things are already there. There's a few things that I'd like to do differently, maybe a bigger spoiler and a front splitter. So one thing that I've quite enjoyed with it is how still usable it is. It's not pleasant on the road, but it's still plenty usable. The aircon still works perfect, the stereo still works really good when I was driving to the ring with it, having the radio, well, the Bluetooth audio just pumping out. It was brilliant, you know, just to cruise over there. So I'm in two minds because it's really good at the Nürburgring. You know, it's just, you saw, it's really good at the Nürburgring. Now, do I want to make it a really good Nürburgring car, or do I want to make it something I can race, or do I go some grey area in between? I don't know. But no plans to get rid of it anyway. You know, we've got two now. We've got two. We've got two, so you know. Yeah. No, I still really like the car. Like driving it. Thought about getting an E36. I don't have room for another car, but every now and again when I see an E36 for sale, I'm like, I should. But I think that ship sailed. I think I'm an E46 man. That's my, you know. I've had a couple of E36s, as you know, but I think my what's it called? My generation is the E46. I think it is. I just like it. I've even thought about getting one as a daily. Thought about buying an E, then I thought we've got that thing over there. Just use that daily. Yeah, I still really like this car, and like I say, I would like to take it a step on, get some. I want to add some lightness to it because it still feels very heavy, but that's going to make it a less nice road car. But if we've got a nice road car, that'll be, you know, an easier pill to swallow. And then yeah, I'd like to have it competition ready and, you know, faster at the Nürburgring. Why not? Yeah. Right, to round off this video of me chatting shit about things that I'm probably never going to do on this lovely New Year's bank holiday, what's happening with Integras then? That's just chilling, everyone's just chilling. Now I know a lot of you only liked and subscribed because you like the Integra, right? A couple of people told me about this, you know. It's been mentioned once or twice, you know, about the DC2. Now, where does DC2 fit in? Well, I've had it over 10 years now. Thinking about the person I was when I bought the car compared to now, where does it fit in with the future? Well, at the minute, nowhere. I'd like to have it as a complete car, but what would I use it for when it was done? I'm not going to go to car shows like I used to doing it. I'm not going to go on track days really like I used to doing it. What do I actually want to do? Well, a lot of what I want to do, obviously, I want to drive. Yeah, I want to drive, but I want to race. Yeah, somewhat. We'll talk more about this. Because racing's not been that much fun really. It's been a lot of fun, but it's not like, yeah, I think the allure, you know, maybe we need to try something else, right? Where does this fit in with any of that? It doesn't. And that's why it's just sat as it is. It's just kind of sat here. It's had a few bits done along the way, engine and, you know, it's had a few bits done along the way, but I've never really focused on it, and that's because me personally, I've got no real aspirations to do anything with it. But it's here on the ramp for one reason, and that is because I think it's priority one that it should at least be a car again, right? It should at least be able to, you know, run and drive, and, you know, if I want to take it on a track day, I could do, right? I do, of course, owe it to some people to get it back out on the road. I mean, everyone who bought one of these, but what does it need to go back out? Honestly, it's not even that much. I've got the wheels, I've got the engine, I've got the gearbox, I've got the drive shafts, I've got all the wiring, I've got the battery. I've got pretty much all the interior that I'd need. I've got a nice roll cage in there. I've got all the seat rails, I've got all the seat belts. I've got everything. Just not the time or the motivation. But, you know, I can't sit here and, well, I can't stand here and sit here. I can't tell you that I'm gonna do, I know I've said I'm going to do a lot of things, but for me to tell you that I'm going to make this into a car again, it's pointless, isn't it? Because how many times have I said it and nothing's happened, or very little has happened. Just this time last year, I made a promise, or I said, I don't know if I promised it, maybe I did, but I said that I was going to make a video every week about the car, about progress on it, to motivate me to do stuff, and I think I lasted about 3 or 4 weeks. And here we are. The underbody restoration, that was a lot of time and effort, but compared to the time and effort that I spent on the MR2 or the Bastard or the M3 is, you know, it's not the same, is it? It's not had a lot of love. I'm not that affectionate over it. I'm not affectionate about anything, man. Like, let's be clear. I'm not holding anything too dear, but it would be nice to have it on the road again and just, even if it's just parked up in here, fucking like a full car looking nice. Yeah, that'd be all right, wouldn't it? So that is priority number one, right? So let's stop talking about it, because hopefully the next few videos you'll see me actually working on it. Yeah. Right, just to finish, we're going to talk about the world and everything, and the brand, yeah, and channel and the future. What I want to do with all of this. The YouTube is a lot stronger than the Patreon at the minute, which I guess is good. It used to be that when I first started this in 2021, the Patreon used to surpass what I used to get in YouTube ad revenue. Now the YouTube ad revenue is like 2 times what the Patreon is. As I'm talking now anyway, it could change. It's so volatile, the YouTube ad revenue, but the Patreon's pretty solid, right? You have X amount of people paying X and you get X, right? The YouTube ad revenue seems a bit like crypto sometimes. You don't really know what's going on, and yeah. Anyway, that's really good. Now, what's not been good this year has been the good old merchandise, and you might have noticed the prices fluctuating a little bit. Making the decision to monetize this has definitely been a good idea, because it's helped me fund all this extra racing that you've seen. All those drives in the KA and the TT, I've had to fund myself to be in those cars. There's no such thing as a free drive in club level motorsport, right? So it's been thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds, especially with the crash in the TT. You know, I'm easily at 10 grand, I think, for those kind of drives. It's actually more than that. Yeah, fuck. Yeah. Ignoring that, it's been a good idea to monetize the channel. So how it works with Teespring is you have like a base cost or something, right? And then say if it's cost me 15 quid, I sell it for 20 quid or whatever, I get a fiver out of it, right? What's happened this year with all the inflation and, you know, other, I'll not mention the B word, but other things specific to living in the UK, it's meant that me selling merchandise via Teespring is just, it's just a waste of time, because to try and make that £5 still, I'm having to try and ask 25 quid for a t-shirt. It's like, what? If you're an American viewer, if you're from the land of the free and the bald eagles and the vice grip garage, who I've been watching a lot of lately, good channel, got guy, yeah, guy. A guy's got to work on the car today. You know, that guy's pretty good at it. If you're from that town, right? It's not a town, is it? It's a big country. If you're from there, Teespring will work just fine for you. You'll pay a fair price. I'll get a fair cut of it. Everything will be happy. But if you're from specifically the UK, Europe's not too bad. It's still pretty skewy, but specifically the UK, the costs of getting the garments in, because they're made in Europe somewhere, pre-Brexit, that was fine because they could just fucking ship them over. But now there's a lot of increased messing about, and ultimately it's me that has to pay for that, which is why the prices went from being like £18 a t-shirt to like £25 a t-shirt. Last winter, my first winter of doing the merchandise, I got so many people asking me if they could buy a beanie hat off of me, and I was like, Teespring, people want to buy the bit, and they were just like, well, you know, maybe. They just wouldn't tell me, and it's just bullshit. So yeah, I'm moving away from Teespring. Patreon good, YouTube ad revenue is currently good, fix the merch, and then we're good. That's the free income streams. Now there's a fourth one missing from there, which we might see some of.
I went on to talk about sponsored content here, you know, like having adverts within my videos where I talk about a product and, you know, you install some plugin to your web browser to skip through it or something. But it's something that I get approached about a lot, you know, people offering X, Y, Z for me to do it, and I've never taken anyone up on it yet. It would definitely help me financially. It'd be extra cash towards the racing and stuff like that. But yeah, it's something you might see in the future, but I'm going to try and hold off. I'd rather receive the money through actual fans, through Patreon, through YouTube ad revenue if I just get more views and stuff. But selling merch and doing those adverts, that's how people make money doing this in the modern day. So sooner or later, I guess, we'll probably have to do it. Or you can subscribe to the Patreon now and get early access to videos. Okay.
Just this weekend, just last night before filming this, I got an email from someone who represents Raid Shadow Legends. Alright, I'm going to wrap this video up, but I don't know if anyone's still watching. That's a lot of waffling. 2023, the year of stuff that might happen. Thanks for watching. Thank the Patreons, thank the members, and yeah, I'm going to do some DIY now.
I completely forgot to show you the head cam. I found this for hopefully making videos, garage videos this year, hopefully making them a bit better. Yeah? We'll make them a bit better, can't we? Yeah? Yeah? I don't think I've brought the best tools for the job.